Welcome to She Coaches Coaches. I'm your host, Candy Motzek, and I'm going to help you find the clarity, confidence, and courage to become the coach that you are meant to be. If you're a new coach, or if you've always wanted to be a life coach, then this is the place for you. We're going to talk all about mindset and strategies and how to, because step by step only works when you have the clarity, courage, and confidence to take action. Let's get started. Hi there, and welcome to this week's episode. I have got a special guest here for you today, Val Low. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Val. She is a Map-It creator and strategy implementer, and she works with entrepreneurs just like you and I to get their business ideas out of their head and then create colorful maps for them to keep on track to their big goals. She then works with them to implement their strategy by refreshing their message in their brand and website and helps them fix their funnels so they can attract more clients. All of this helps them to explode their results. So Val shows entrepreneurs how to transform their mindset and obviously have way more successful businesses. Val, welcome to the show. I'm so glad you're here.
Oh gosh, Candy. Yes, I'm so excited to be here. We took a few pauses getting to this point, and I'm just so excited to be sharing with you today. So thanks for inviting me.
Yeah. And it's funny. We were talking for a few minutes before I hit the recording, and I think we've been looking at trying to get our calendar together since maybe September or October. And here we are today. It's January, and we are in the middle of a deep freeze. And so we've both got, I don't know, well, maybe you don't. I have a blanket on my lap to try and stay warm so I'm not shivering while I'm talking to you at the same time. So your Map-It thing that you do is so interesting and so cool. And I know that you bring a depth of coaching and strategy and practical tools to everything. So I really want the listeners to hear. Tell us a little bit about your journey. Like, how did you get to this part where you do this?
Yeah, Candy, it has really been a journey. I started as a professional organizer, and I go into business owners' offices. You know, there'd be disaster, and they'd be embarrassed to have me there. And I go, "Oh my goodness, look what we can do!" And change it into such a serene place for them to work. But it didn't stick. It got right back to where it was. And I thought, how can I help entrepreneurs to be more organized, get the things done that they want to get done? So that's when it took me down that rabbit hole of productivity and efficiency and several coaching certifications and financial background. And then I started diving into marketing. And here I am now, just really thinking, everything I've done is good, but there's something missing. And that's when I discovered MAP, and I discovered it really is doodling is what it is. But doodling for business, I laughed the whole time I was learning how to doodle for business, because I can really do this in business and have fun at what I'm doing. This is fantastic. So then I could take the strategy and bring it into my business and other entrepreneurs' businesses, and just, bring that picture, because a lot of us are visual. Even if we're not visual, we really need our brain to see what we're doing so that it actually sees it and then helps us to implement the things we want to do. So
right. I just want to sort of jump in here as you're describing that, and you're describing your history and sort of how you came to this part. It really sounds like you've got this giant jigsaw puzzle, and you had so many pieces of the puzzle put in, and it was basically done, but there felt like there was something missing. And so the Map-It approach allows you to actually see the jigsaw puzzle that you put together, and it kind of makes it make sense, right? Like, yeah, that's really cool. I'm really excited about this. So can you tell me, you and I have talked, I've seen what can be done with this, and it's really cool, but not every listener has. So could you just talk to me, just like I was the most beginner with the concept, what exactly is it? You said doodling. Talk more.
Oh gosh. Yeah, you're usually I really like to show people because in my studio here, I have my desk with my cameras, and then I can actually be drawing in front of people and taking their ideas and writing it out, and it makes it a lot easier to see that. But really, like you're saying, I'm taking all those puzzle pieces, I'm
Mm.
finding out where someone wants to go, putting their ideas on the map, but I'm drawing out what they're telling me, but my mind is going, okay, where's the financial, where's the productivity, where's your strategy, where's your, all of those things are going on in my mind. And that's what I'm bringing and putting on the paper. So I'm making an illustration, so to speak, of them and their business and where they want to go, but keeping it simple. I find
Mm.
that for entrepreneurs, if we can keep things simple, then we're much more easily going to implement those things. So bringing those ideas, icons, words that mean things to them, their theme for the year, just some of those pieces that are them and they can follow throughout the year. And I have to backtrack a little bit. There's many different maps I can do with people, with entrepreneurs, and I'm talking about the strategy map or the year map that is one of my favorite things to do with them. But I could do customer journeys and your marketing strategy, all those pieces too. So it's, where's an entrepreneur at? What's their plan? Let's put it onto paper in a simple way with colors and icons. And then they could take that map and look at it all year long and keep on track, or, change it up if they need to, but just keep on track to where they want to go.
Yeah. And so you said a bunch of different things. So first it's all on one sheet. So that's a big deal for me. The second is that it's graphical. So you've got words that are representative of the individual and their mission or their goal or dreams or whatever. And then it creates the map, the forward projection, and captures these individual pieces so that it becomes a cohesive whole. And I think you captured it really well. Is it looks simple. Like when you see one done, and what we'll do, if you're okay with this, Val, I'll ask you for a picture of one of the maps that you've done, and then I could maybe put it in with the blog post for this episode. People can go and really see, oh, that's what this thing is. So you've got basically a graphical representation. Where it seems to make more sense is if I look at strategy and project management and all of these sort of more businessy way of doing projects, they get kind of dull. Like we can only look at so many Gantt charts, we can only look at so many milestones, but if it's a picture, it's alive, right? And so if you're listening to this and you're thinking, okay, but show me exactly what that is. Click through to the blog post. We'll have a copy of a picture there for you so you can see it. And I think that this is one of those things that the minute you see it, you're going to be captivated by how this could help you. Okay, so we've talked a little bit about what it is. Talk about, you said that you do different kinds. You said something about a strategy map. What are some of the different kinds of maps that you might do with somebody?
Yes. Yes. And if you don't mind me just backtracking, you've got a lot of new coaches that are listeners. And when they bring on teammates, then they can look at that map and share that map with whoever they have in their team that can help them implement too. So it's taking that strategy, and like I'd mentioned, I've done a customer journey map, a couple of for some clients, and that just shows you where your customer starts and all the different touch points throughout the journey with them. And you get to see, oh my goodness, yes, these are some of the places, but I'm doing really well here, but oh my, I really need to work on this. And it gives you a big picture of who your client is and how you need to take them through that journey as well. Marketing strategy, that's one of the biggest pieces for us as entrepreneurs. Once we get the plan, the clarity, the strategy, and the plan, is the marketing. And so I can do a marketing map it's a flow chart. I've got a really cute map I did for someone. It was called the Christmas funnel. And I was coaching, yeah, I was coaching with someone, and we were implementing her um, her funnel so that she could get new clients before Christmas. And I said, "Oh, this is getting a little complicated, and I think I need to do a map on this." She says, "Yes, I think so too." So I just did that whole flow of the funnel, and it was really cute. At the end, there was a picture of the client beside the Christmas tree with a star on the Christmas tree. It was just really fun to have that. But then we had, this is what I was doing for her, and this is what she was doing, and it was just a really great map. So, um, and one of the key things that I think we need to do as entrepreneurs, and I'm taking this from Dan Sullivan, strategic coaching, you need to know your three things. The three things that are your uniqueness, your superpowers, whatever you want to call them, those three things that you do really well, and then you can see who you can bring on your team, or just resources you need to help you to implement those. So that's another map, like just a really simple map about what are my three things. It takes a little bit of coaching to get there, but then you've got those three things that you can keep focused on. Yes, this is my uniqueness, this is my superpowers. And in order to do what I want to do from the clarity map, the strategy map, with, bringing on team, whatever.
That's cool. It just feels like when somebody works with someone like you, they have something that they can refer back to without having to read a very, very, very long document with multiple paragraphs and headings and chapters and lines and bits and pieces. It's like they get the concept all in one fell swoop, right? And you said something about clarity. So I know we were talking a little bit about that before we started recording as well. Can you talk a little bit more about that? What's that about?
Yes, I'm deep diving a little bit into what's going on in my life the last while. And there's a piece that I didn't mention, Candy, about my journey, is when I was looking at what's missing in this puzzle, this piece of this puzzle I got together, and I started into the doodling. I actually took a summer and worked on a construction project, like full on hammering and sawing and insulation and outsulation and siding, all of those pieces. And I got to a place where I went, oh my goodness, yes, now I know what people mean by what they love to do. And so that piece helped me to see about the map it and bringing those pieces in for people, and all of those
Hmm.
in there. So along my journey, I've just been, yeah, I told you, Candy, I've been being molded into this better person. And I know I have lots of a long ways to go.
And molded in the way of being formed, not in the way
Exactly.
growing
MOULD. Yeah.
something.
Well, I was molding, MOLD, but now I'm being molded, MOULD.
Yeah, a
But
much better kind of molding.
yeah, well, it hasn't been fun or easy, but getting me to a better place is it's just been so well worth it. And really what it's just dealing with my stuff, dealing with
Mm.
all of those things in my life that have gone on in my history, and letting it go, like just letting all those go. And um, I know forgiveness is something that's not a topic that we're going to dive into here, and it's not an easy thing to do at times, but letting yourself get unconnected from unforgiveness, like people that are still holding you
Mm.
from being more of yourself. So if you can let those things go and deal with it, and then let yourself be healed, just let yourself be healed, and then come into this place of, oh my goodness, it's like fresh air. It really is like
Mhm.
fresh air to just deal with those things. So now, once you get to that place, then you can really dive into your three things, like I talked about, your uniqueness, those places that you want to be. And as a new coach, I know as a new coach, it wasn't easy, and I wasn't shown that path of the marketing piece and all of those others pieces that really help to make that all work together. So as new coaches, dealing with yourself, but sharing with others too, dealing as your clients, your journey, and saying, hey, I've been there. I know what's, some of the things you're going through.
Yeah. There's the thing that more than one, but what I'm really thinking about how you work with people, is all this time that you've put into all these pieces of your life, and the metaphor is doing the construction work, right? As an adult woman working construction in all these different ways, it's how you build your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I can imagine that how your clients, some of the value that you bring is just in virtue of how much time you save them in helping them get to clarity. Instead of having to find one little solution over here and another 3 years from now down over there, they can get it all in one place with you. And then not only do they get it, but then it lands on a couple of sheets of paper. That is invaluable, right? Like to have that kind of clarity, for you working on clarity around your life and molding, forming, becoming more of who you are and healing who you are. But that allows you to help them save weeks, months, years, and in many cases, I would imagine, help save people from not quitting. Like sometimes it gets to be pretty hard. And if you just keep going, it'll work. And if you don't quit, right? And for that, so I can imagine that your clients are just really, really thankful that you can save them so much energy and so much time in their journey. Yeah. Mm. So tell me more about Map It. We've talked about what it is. We've talked about some different kinds. We've delved a little bit into the, personal side of it. If somebody was to call you up and say, listen, I'm a new coach. I really could use some help. What's the thing that you would get them to do? Like, how would you help them right away? What's the biggest thing?
Gosh, I mentioned all kinds of things here, but the biggest thing is just again, who you are, what your
Mm,
uniqueness is, and really who you want to work with, who you can
right.
support and help, I think is
Yeah.
really key.
Yeah. So the three things, and then also stepping into it, right? Yeah. Wow. It's interesting how that all sort of comes together, right? Like everything that you do, go from complex to simple.
And it's been for me, it's been a long journey because I love entrepreneurs, just love working with them, but I know that you just get so distracted. I actually copyrighted EDD, entrepreneur distraction dilemma. And so I
And your solution is
uh,
you've made the diagnosis and your solution is
yeah, let's map it.
yeah, yeah.
But we get so distracted and keeping it simple, and it's not easy to keep it simple because I can deep dive into a strategy plan that's more documented, more of a corporate document, so that we can flush through that and see where you're going, especially in a larger corporation. But it's not easy to take it from that document into a map, and I've worked really quite hard at trying to keep it simple, and we really do need to keep it simple. We really do.
Right. So if your three things, that's sort of the place that you would recommend a new coach begin. Do you sort of have any tips, like the something that they can take away from this episode and go, yeah, that really helped me and it helped me move forward? How would you help them?
Well, I've already given some tips on getting clear on who you are, finding out those three things that you do well, finding the clients that really resonate with you and you can work with and really, really support. Then you know what, I'm going to kick into business. I mean, because you need to get yourself marketed, um, and get out into the world in a big way, but you don't need to do that in a complicated way. You can keep that very simple. Like, what's that one place?
Mm-hmm.
There's three things. The one thing you do, and the one way you market it, and
Yeah.
doing it like 1 year is kind of the
Mm.
process of the three ones.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that that's really valuable. And especially the 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we live in, you know, I know you're talking about EDD, but we live in that world that thinks that we're just going to take a pill and all of a sudden we're going to be fixed. But we would never expect a brick and mortar business to start to work seamlessly, to be fully successful and thriving in a month. But coaches have this thing that they think that it should be faster than it is. And a coaching business is no different, right? And so that 1 year that you said really, it really sticks with me as well. So one way of talking to people, right? One way of talking to people, give it a year, and one big solution, right?
Big
Yeah.
solution, definitely a
Yeah.
big solution. Mm-hmm.
Lovely. Cool. Val, I've enjoyed our conversation. Any last words before we wrap it up? And of course, I also want to hear, how can people find out more about you and find out more about Map It and all the things you do?
Yes, find out more. I'm in the middle process of writing a book, and so far the title is Map Your Success, and it's going to have all kinds of maps in it, so that is a good way to go there too. Yeah, LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn. That's my one thing. LinkedIn. So
Okay.
be there and watch for the book. Yeah, I'd like to keep it simple.
Wonderful. And I'll make sure to put those links in the episode notes as well. Thank you so much for joining me. And I am so fascinated this approach, this creative and simplified and powerful approach that you've got on the go. That is just great. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Candy. It's been such a pleasure.
Thanks again for listening today. Please hop on over to Apple Podcasts and leave a review. Also, I would love to hear from you. Did something that I say resonate? What else would you like to learn about? Click the link in the player and leave a comment on the post. This is going to give me great ideas for future episodes so I can help you best. Join me again next week for more coaching, support, and teaching to help you become the confident coach you are meant to be.